Right, so we're gonna do some bunkers in 322. I don't know what's with the accent. Yeah, and maybe some risky pickings or some shenanigans. I'm usually trying to find players to interact with. I mean, I think this is the most funny. This the most fun times I had in the game is when obviously some sort of player interaction happened. But for now, I'm just chilling, doing bunkers, looting. I really actually love buckets. Hopefully, I won't crash. And sometimes the cutter can behave in a weird way. Not sure why exactly. Sometimes it looks very controllable. Sometimes not so much. Alright, let's see if we part this right. Push up. I really love how Elite Dangerous had that thing where you could actually see on the radar the ground below you, and I think it makes sense for. It actually makes sense for. I mean, even if in real life, if this were like a real life thing. There would be systems in place for you to be able to, land your ship, be guided into landing, because obviously there is restrictions to what you can see. This is even true today of planes, landing have ILS and all that kind of stuff. So I think something, and they should probably, this is one of those things, the developers at Siege could actually do. One of those small things. Why do you insist on torturing people with these fucking doors? I mean, it's an alpha, and just, you could just a little bit make people's lives a little bit easier, so they don't have to spend minutes trying to feed a box through the door. But okay, so I don't have enough ammo on this one, but I have this one. I also have ammo in the box. So anyway, yeah, they should add some ways for you to, more smarter ways than, look behind or something like that. So for those of you that didn't play Elite Dangerous, you have this thing where basically, as you come into landing, when you extend your landing gear, the radar transforms to a ground radar and shows you the position of the ship relative to the ground, and a little indicator that turns green when the landing spot is appropriate. Okay, so little helpers like this would be really useful to maneuver your ships around, especially if you are like myself. You're trying to make nice landings to find the best landing position for your ship, as we did right now, where we try to actually land the ship in a way that would be easier to carry the box to the bunker doors. So yeah, I really love it that the bunkers seem to be working pretty well, actually. Let's make sure we have ammo. So yeah, pretty impressive, especially since like two or 3 days ago in when 3.21 was still around. Bunkers were really bad, and the servers actually started degrading as right before they rolled in 322. So I guess maybe they prioritized some servers for the move to 322. Anyway, so right now the bunkers seem to be running really well. The loot is there. The whatchamacallit, that bug where bodies or boxes used to fall through the elevator floor is gone. So yeah, it's good. It's good. So how did that guy pop up? And enemy sprints seem pretty aware. I mean, I think this server might also be kind of empty. Something. Not sure if. While I waited, let me get some of these P4 ARs. I actually didn't try the P4 AR in the new in 322. I understand it's supposed to fire a little bit. I can say I can tell the difference. I probably have to try shooting an enemy with it at some point, but I very much prefer LMGs. I always did. Although P4 AR is pretty. I mean, up to now, I'm not sure how it is right now, but the P4 AR is pretty good in that it's very versatile, and you know, since it has like a single fire mode, it allows you to basically conserve ammo if needed. So that's a pretty nifty thing to have. Yeah, so one of the things I like to do is have a lot of stuff with me, like, you know, guns, ammo, drinks, whatever the case is, and, you know, help people around. I always come to people's help when they maybe need an undersuit or an armor or water, and it's nice, you know, it's nice. It creates player interaction. And I mean, look, it's I'm more maybe of a helper player. So what I think I'm trying to say is that I would like to see more occasions for interaction than just, you know, jump down, for instance, you know, or, where, you know, there is cooperation between players. So yeah, because that creates, and also, I mean, not necessarily cooperation. So there is this thing once, and I don't think I have the recording anymore. If I ever, but I think I did record it. So there was this thing once where some dudes were camping and griefing people at an outpost on, I think it was Daymar? No, I think it was Daymar. And, well, they're in these small ships, and they're pretty good fighters. I mean, one of them was in a ship, the other was on the ground, I think. So what we needed to do was me and a buddy of mine decided to just go get him, and we got some small ships, but they detected us, and what we did was we actually ditched our ships, and then we continued on foot to the outpost, and I think we were like at least like maybe 5, 6, 7 kilometers out, and it was dark. And the funny thing is that, I mean, the nice thing was that before I exited my ship and before my ship got destroyed, I got a fix of the direction of the outpost and correlated it with some stars on the sky. And the next, I think, 20 or 30 minutes or so, we just continued to navigate our way underground by the stars. So that was really, really fun. And that doesn't really happen in any other game that I know of. So, yeah. This is, and I think from this perspective, I think that CG has realized a lot in creating that sandbox where, you know, there is a lot of open possibilities, and things can actually, you know, players have ways of combining, items, gameplay, all that kind of stuff into interesting, interesting combinations. So, yeah. So I think that's, from that perspective, I think that's a really big success of Siege. Now it remains to be seen whether. I mean, so far it looks good, especially since they seem to have gotten Squadron 42 out of the way, so that's nothing. And now again, like many other many other content creators have noticed, things seem to have picked up speed since they actually gotten rid of, or I mean, I finished squad 42. So yeah, I mean, I don't like these shotguns. I mean, it's interesting, What happens is that there are definitely meta weapons. I actually just recently discovered or rediscovered the F-55 LMG because I was myself killed by a guy with one on Korea, and I was actually surprised because I was with another friend, and they entered through the airlock, and this guy opens up with the LMG and just mows us down. So yeah, it's an interesting weapon, and it's kind of nice design. So I'm probably going to try and try it more, especially now with the nerf on the magazine of the FS9. However, I do think that the FS9 is still very, very good weapon. Especially if you fit it, depending on the situation, if you fit it with a silencer or one of those muzzle brakes. Yeah, it's a good weapon. It's still a good weapon, and actually, this reduction makes you a little bit more careful in the way you spend your ammo. So yeah, I mean, I think it's this. Yeah, it's a good weapon. It's definitely a good weapon. I'm gonna get over this nice weapon. Yeah, usually what I find out is like after patch drops and then a few months, maybe a month or two pass, I'm starting to run out of FS9s, and it's good to have them. It's good to have them. It's good to have backups. So I do have a lot of backups. Most of them are, B4 ARs. So yeah, so I'm gonna try and get this graphics stage here as well. Although this 1 SU box may not fit him anymore because I have another armor in there. But I have another 2 SU box in the ship. So yeah, we'll see about that. I'm curious, I mean, if you guys like just watching people do stuff. I mean, obviously there's a lot of content creators out there, and yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to, ever be very successful. But anyway, I hope you're enjoying it. Yeah. So thoughts. So one of the things I do is I'm trying to again refine my. Always trying to kind of refine my landings, and I only, weirdly enough, I only recently found out about this thing with the vector landing, I think they call it, which is nice, but I think it's still, I mean, at least using the mouse and keyboard, it's still kind of hard to control the marker, that the direction marker basically. So I think that still needs some refining, I guess. Okay, I think this. Okay, so yeah, all right. I think and drop this. Yeah, we've been very, very greedy, and it's interesting because I'm usually not a loot goblin, but there is something oddly satisfying in knowing that you have a lot of shit. Worthless pixel items. Yeah. Curious is, if something is going to happen until I finish this PlayStation. I mean, somewhere, but by that I mean like some sort of player interaction. Maybe not a rescue beacon, something. Yeah, we'll see. Here we go, doing again the. I'm actually thinking maybe get one of the works I'm a member of. We'd like to maybe try into this thing where we create on a moon maybe or a planet. We create a small structure or a structure big enough that is visible from space. And I was thinking of taking advantage of this persistence thing and actually trying to take a huge number of boxes and just start building. Although I think it probably have to be quite big. I mean, it would take a lot. But I mean, seeing as how people have built things in Minecraft or whatever, I mean, it doesn't even have to be a like a one-off thing. We'd ask people on the servers to just come over, drop a box or two. So yeah, I'm curious. I think they added another level on the security contractor reputation. I think it was this elite one. Was this on? Because I don't think it was. I'm really curious how much missions are going to pay here. But on the other hand, I do think they should do something about being able to advance faster, because this, building up reputation is really slow. And I really don't. Really don't like these missions because they take a lot. It's the NPCs in there I act really well. I mean, they have like a they're abnormally accurate. That's what I'm saying. I mean, there's this, even on Horizon, there's this fog happening. Somehow, the NPCs seem to be very adept at getting you through the fog, through whatever, and that's an unfair advantage. And they really have they're really accurate even at a distance, and even with like SMGs, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. But I'm pretty sure they're, unaffected by fog, so I'm thinking I should do something more interesting after this. What I'm trying to do is, I always try to see how much I can keep the ship surviving, like, being like a permanent home, because right now, I mean, if you look at sci-fi movies, you have these ships that survive incredible odds. And kind of you go to prison. Hope I won't crash trying to write in chat. Happened to move 4 actually. There's two situations. So there's the ship there. So there's two situations where you crash. So one, you crash at the beginning where you don't really know how to fly. You don't really know to estimate speeds, braking speeds, all that stuff. And then you also crash when you get relatively good at the game and you're getting overconfident and just speed too much or just don't look at the screen because you have something else to do because you think you have the general direction gauged in and you don't actually need to look at the screen. So yeah. Yeah, I must say I really like the Rambler because it has this very, very, very strong light. So that's one thing I like about it. And the other thing I like about it is that it has a big fuel tank, and that actually makes using the VK00 feasible. You know, which is great. Because I always wanted to ask go about my business in the system as opposed to always having to you know use a big ship like get the because I'm usually flying ships that have size 2 quantum drives, so I'm always using the XL1. I heard people complaining about the fuel consumption, which is big, but I mean, I think most size 2 ships have quite enough fuel. So I think over 3 years that I've been constantly playing this game, I only ran out of fuel like once or twice, and other than that, it's still pretty hard to run out of fuel in this game. I like it when the chats, the French and Brit bashing starts happening in chats. This is cool. Yeah, right. So are they colonialists or are they cowards?